Hello and welcome to yet another video from the only channel you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. And once again we're watching Norman make a cast net. He's teaching me this in the hopes that I'll teach somebody else, but at 51 years old I think I'm the youngest cast net maker in the world, and I don't want nobody else to know this, so when I die I'll be the last one. I can have my claim to fame. But anyways, I've been trying to learn this fisherman's knot he calls a Flying Dutchman. And so we've moved over to the net with a little bit bigger mesh to see if it makes it a little easier to see what's going on here. And I'll just quietly allow him to work his magic. Okay, we got the needle loaded up. And that is a handmade custom needle. And the thimble he's working on is handmade custom thimble. I'm from the younger generation. I don't believe anything's worth something unless I can go to Walmart and buy it. Norman here thinks it ain't worth nothing unless you make it yourself. And I believe that too, actually. I wouldn't throw a monofilament net unless I had to. And these nylon handmade nets are just a completely different concept. Everything about this net is different. I don't care what anybody else says. The propaganda is that the monofilament nets don't cast a shadow, so you catch more fish. But when I was growing up, Daddy brought a wash tub of fish home every week with a nylon net. So I'm not really buying into the sales pitch. Here we are, we're getting it right over his shoulder, so hopefully I can go home and look at this and figure this knot out and start doing it. What I do right now is just a half hitch.
Goes through there, and through this loop here.
We'll get a couple of more knots in the video before we turn this thing off. Kitty cat.
That's where I like to go, my finger.
We just measured this net. It's at, what did we say, 8 feet?
8 foot.
8 foot 1 inch. And we've got a chart in the book that tells us how many knots are in these things.
19,000 knots right now.
Yeah, we're at this net is at 19,000 knots right now. I think my net is at 2,000 knots. I've got about 40 hours in it. And that's not mine. That's one of Norman's too. Mine's sitting here in my. I'm the only net maker that carries a briefcase full of nets and needles. All right, we'll get one more. Do a little bit more time with this thing.
See, you got it. Your fingers out of the way, and you bring it down. It slides on your finger in the back, and let go. Through there. Snatch them. I do it fast, and I can't. When I go slow, I can't. It gets hung up.
Yeah, like I said in the other video, we'll use the slow motion button if we want to see it done in slow motion, because I know what you're talking about. Just doing my simple knot, I can't do it in slow motion. This has to become intuitive, otherwise you'll never get a net made. If you're thinking about every knot you make, it'd take you 2 or 3 years to make a net like this. It's a dying art, because the only kind of arts that stay alive are the arts that make money, and you can't make money making nets. We're trying to figure it out. We're going to eventually time ourselves and do the math and try to figure out how long one of these nets takes. But I think, personally, we're working on about 120 hours to build something like this. What do you think, Norman?
Yeah, that's about right, yeah. 120
hours. You can sell this net for $200, and it takes $60 worth of materials to make it. So you could clear $140 for 120 hours worth of work. It's a little bit over $1 an hour. That's about right.
That's why a lot of people are not making them.
Yes. Well, eventually it won't be nobody making them except me, and then when I die, ain't nobody gonna be making them.
I've got about 10 people right now making nets. Out of 100.
Yeah. Well, Norman put a sign up at the local seafood museum saying that if they want it, they could come down and take cast net lessons. And he's had about 100 people come down there and take cast net lessons. And so far, only about 100 people have actually made nets.
No, about 10 really made nets. 100 don't have, but 10 of them really.
Only 10 have actually made the nets. Yeah, okay. Hey, go ahead and grab your phone, Norman. We go and cut this thing short.
That's that phone with me.